Hi there, I'm Matt Keene. Thanks for visiting Creating a Future We Want, the Visionary Evaluation Series. Early attempts to define sustainability assumed that stakeholders had a shared view of an acceptable standard of living and that capitalism and free markets were the systems within which sustainability initiatives should be defined and deployed. They assumed that it was possible to determine and predict acceptable rates of natural resource depletion that would maintain or improve standards of living for humans, both present and future generations. In the 1650s, who's called the father of liberalism, makes me kind of wonder who the mama of liberalism is, and children of liberalism, grandparents. John Locke developed a lot of how many of us think about identity and self today, or at least philosophers, people who think about that, which isn't too much of us, sadly. Darn it. He had a lot of influence in his work on basic rights of people and relation to freedom that influenced the Declaration of Independence. I share that because we are presenting this book from a United States perspective for various reasons that I've discussed in other videos. In his first treatise on government, First Treatise of Government, he's like super into this notion of who should have the power. But what did I just read? It seems like some people kind of know who should have the power already. But I'm not sure there's a lot of evidence that's true. In terms of sustainability, we've got some pretty big issues. Humans, Homo sapiens, we built a world, a global economic model that is based on an assumption of infinite growth and accumulation of wealth, and darn it is kind of looking like we all live on a planet with that sort of finite resources, for the time being anyway. Problem. Just that we would build a world, and that we are building it now, we are participating in this now, that results in like a species creating, for instance, the way capitalism is practiced today, a global economic model that does not even provide for the most essential basic needs of the species itself that created it, like water or food, for like some billions of people. What? That's crazy. You know, try to get through it. So another kind of disturbing notion there that we have included in all of our discussions about what sustainability is for the past 50 years, 60 years, whatever it is, the notion of not compromising the ability of future generations to for self-actualization, or however it's framed, depending on what you're looking at. There's some issues with this too. That notion has been critical throughout human history for many peoples. There's some issues with it today in that what is coming and what is our future, I think that we today may have very little idea of what is going to be required by them then in the future generations, and what we should do about it now. What does that mean for our conceptualization of sustainability? One is it's a praxis. We are in process in the notion of sustainability, not a shocker, I think, probably. But what is sustainability? Well, it depends totally on context. What's the situation you're in? What are the boundaries? What are the values that are a part of those boundaries? Within them, affected by them? What are the relationships between those values? The perspectives on those values? And then sustainability can be a property, something that comes up out of the nexus of all of those super nuanced, complex, tangled up relationships of everything. If we're able to account for those values and bring it all together and, attend to them, customize for that context. Not easy. What is? We have to get started, though. I'm Matt Keene. Thanks for visiting Creating the Future We Want, the Visionary Evaluation Series. What is your vision for concept of sustainability? And its practice. Let's throw that in.